I thought for today's video I'd do something a little bit different. I'm gonna just tell you the story of the first time that I ever used any psychedelic. It was acid when I was in high school, and I'm just gonna tell you the story. And I thought I would do it in my studio because, as you'll see, the story involves music. So this is my little world here. I shoot videos from over there sometimes. This is my little psychedelic bar. And then over here is my psychedelic studio where I either make music or edit video. So it's 1994 and I'm a junior in high school, and I'm irresponsible and experimenting with drugs a little bit, although thankfully I didn't go down the wrong path and try the wrong ones. But acid that day was the wrong one. Let's be clear about that. The only thing I knew was there's something called LSD, and it's this hardcore stuff that you should either try or maybe you really shouldn't try. And so I took a hit at school because I was smart. And smart people do things at school. I took it at lunchtime, at the beginning of lunchtime, and it had hit by the end of, well, let's see, I took it before lunch and I was on one hit during lunch. And I felt great. And I thought, LSDs, that's nothing. I'm just having a great time. I've got an idea. How about I take the other one? So during lunch, I took the other hit of acid that I had on me. And because I knew what I was doing, I went to jazz band class. So I was a little bit late, and I walked in. I was the last one there, and I went over to the closets where the instruments were. They're already like rehearsing, but they're like looking at me, because I'm the last one there, and like, hurry up, Chris. So I go out, I get my horn, pull out my horn, turn around, look at the band. They're all looking at me, and then that second hit, it just hit. And of course, I had no idea. Holy shit, I'm in trouble. And I have to hang out with these people for 2 hours. I've got no excuse to leave because everybody is looking at me. To make it even better, now a big band has about roughly 4 trumpets, 4 trombones, and 5 saxophones. Loosely speaking, right? But our top 2 trumpet players were gone for whatever reason, fate. And I was seated third, so I was acting first chair trumpet, which meant that I get all of the solos. And half the people in the room knew that I was on acid, and they were fucking with me. So they're like throwing stuff at me, or whenever there's like there were times when it wasn't obvious who was going to play the solo, and they kept on pointing at me and saying, Chris, do it, Chris, do it. And the teacher's like, he knew something was going on, but he didn't know what. And I could not play. I'm like playing a solo, and I'm like, like, I would be on top, how psychedelics are, you're like on top of the world feeling okay, but then you kind of sink in. And as I saw it sunk in, my ability to play would like just disappear, and it is just for the world, all 20 people to see. I couldn't even read. The dots on the page were literally dripping off of the page, and I was having a lot of oral hallucinations too, so that the music was just like I just played, it would sound okay, and then it'd like twist and turn out of tune, and then just become this garbled mess. I did not know how I fucking survived, but it was not fun. Thankfully, I went on to play plenty of music on psychedelics, and usually it's a lot more fun than that. You just stay away from the big band charts. I went home, I took the bus home. I had no idea how long I was going to be high. I hung out with my friends a little bit, but I avoided them because I was just freaking out and scared and like an animal that just wanted to like hide in a closet. I ended up basically hiding underneath the like in bed underneath my covers for basically like 2 days. At one point, I remember thinking, well, it might be interesting to listen to music. I was starting to come down and be better. And I think I'll listen to some music. I'm 17, I'm starting to get into jazz. So I put on famous album, Miles Davis's Bitches Brew. And it was about 10 seconds, 10 seconds long, Bitches Brew. It's a very dark and kind of frightening album. About 10 seconds and I'm like, no, nope, 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 nope. And then I just went back to hiding under my covers. It was a really traumatic experience, to tell you the truth. I mean, it makes a funny story now, but I did not fully come. I didn't know if I was ever going to come down because, like, certainly after 12 hours, I was still high as fuck. And I couldn't even tell if I was coming down yet. I was still peaking pretty much at like 12 hours. And I wasn't sure that I was going to survive until about 20 hours. And it was very traumatic. And, you know, I couldn't tell my parents about it because they were against drugs and I was against talking to my parents. I didn't have any mentors or anything. My friends were all assholes, but they also, even if they weren't assholes, they didn't know anything about LSD. There was no way for me to deal with this experience at all. And I didn't use psychedelics again for 2 years. The next time that I used any psychedelics at all was mushrooms when I was 19. I was in college by then. And I was a little smarter and it was a much smaller dose. So it's a funny story, but it also brings home a point. Like, this is how most people get involved in psychedelics. And people know so little about drugs because they're not told anything, that one stupid 17-year-old gets into LSD, another one gets into, cocaine or maybe, or fentanyl or whatever. And there is because they're giving zero real drug education, they have it's just it's just luck of the draw, whether you're given something that will ultimately help you, like LSD or psilocybin, or something that could kill you, like fentanyl. Well, we really need to create a world where we have real drug education and real systems of mentorship so that people can make it over that hump safely. I ultimately got lucky. I could have hurt myself. I certainly heard that music, I'll say that. Anyway, that was fun. I hope you like my story.